Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit here, welcome back to Geass. We're on episode 2 now, and yeah, if you hadn't seen the first one, well, I don't know what you're doing here, but I think I am very much in just after the first episode. I'm intrigued to see where this goes, especially with some kind of power like, you know, being able to just tell somebody to do something and they do it, against a whole empire. So yeah, I don't have anything to discuss about last episode. That usually, like the big pre-discussions before episodes kind of happen like every 2 episodes, because obviously I do like a sitting of 2 episodes, so I literally just finished episode 1. So, you know, if you want to, you know, get into the discussion and all of that and what I think about certain things, it was a really good discussion last episode. You can watch it after episode 1. So yeah, we're just going to get straight into episode 2. See what else we find out, see what else we learn. So let's go. The White Knight awakens. White Knights everywhere!
What it is you wanted me to do. Why did you give me this bizarre power?
Oh dear. Next here.
How could all these royal guards be dead? Answer me!
I order you to come out, at once!
Who the hell do you think you are to order me?
It doesn't work. Why not?
It only works with direct eye contact. My name
okay,
is
so that's the
Alan
limit.
Spacer. My father's a duke.
Nobility.
My ID card's in my breast pocket.
Oh, cheeky! Haha, you
Keep your
outsmarted
hands up
her.
in the air. I'll take out your ID.
Now then, hand your nightmare over to me.
Understood.
So are we having a bad day? Looks like you missed a chance to go to
So
heaven,
live.
Private Kururugi. You're lucky it was under your protective suit, because that's what deflected the bullet.
Is it a keepsake?
Yeah, very.
You 11s believe that gods live inside of everything, even objects, don't you? I guess this
Like a
is
pocket watch.
Private Kururugi, how much experience do you have in piloting a nightmare frame? Well, supposing you could. Congratulations! The only nightmare of its kind awaits you.
So it's a different, like a maybe an upgraded one.
Those damn Britannians!
Just like Arahime from fucking Bleach.
What in the world have you been doing? Where are you now? If you keep cutting class, you'll get held back.
Are you near a TV?
A TV? What?
The news. Is there anything about Shinjuku?
News? Let's see.
There's nothing on.
No.
Traffic restrictions?
Why is it restricted? I get it.
Interesting.
Once they finish everything off, they'll release news that favors the military.
Yeah. They're keeping it under wraps.
You're gambling.
By the way, tell my little sister that I'm gonna be home late tonight, would you?
She got a little sister. Oh,
Why does he always
is
have
that
to
the girl in the
love me like
wheelchair?
that?
I want payback for being dragged into your fight.
There's 30 minutes left.
The west entrance. Use the tracks to move to the west entrance.
Who's this? How do you know this code?
That doesn't matter. If you want to win, you're just gonna have to trust me.
To win?
Since you trusted me, you're gonna win. Jump onto the train.
You think you can get through that way?
Yes, my lord.
What the? Shot by friendly fire? What's your name and your unit?
We're after the one on glass.
Oh my god, a terrorist?
He saved me. But how did you get a hold of a Sutherland?
What? Where did he go?
Are you in charge?
Yeah.
I present to you the cargo in that train over there. They're tools for your victory.
He's already just.
There's more in here!
Here too! Amazing! Maybe we should give this guy a chance.
All this? How?
Woman in the Glasgow.
Yes!
Stay where you are. Your unit's gonna run decoy, you got that?
Understood.
I'm betting my life in this game.
Chess.
Terrorists are mixed among the 11 populace and they're mounting a minor resistance against us.
All right, people, let's move. Get to your assigned points.
T1, can you move? It operates basically the same as what you're used to.
Can't you tell us who you are?
At least your name. I can't do that. What if these signals are being intercepted? Anyway, if Q1
P1 is on schedule. Enemy Sutherlands, probably 2 of them, will reach you in 23 seconds.
Shoot them through the wall.
3, 2, 1, fire! What?
An ID signal can be a double-edged sword. Besides, if the terrorists follow the orders I issue, my task at hand is sure to be completed.
P1, P4, P7, move 100 meters to the right and fire your slash Harkins toward 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's like a game of chess, isn't it?
What else does he
Oh, I
want us
really
to
like this.
Ready?
Sir Galway has ejected! His unit's been lost!
Forgive me.
Good afternoon.
What is it? We're in the middle of an operation.
I'd say it's time to deploy the A6 special weapon.
Now then, the enemy has 5 options. Their move.
Reinforce the breach with some of the units guarding me. All we know for certain is that enemy forces are here.
Who ordered them to break formation?
Well, that's a more stupid move than I expected.
All right, send in Bertz and the others too.
Mission number 3 now.
Concentrate our forces there. Surround them.
Is everything prepared?
The enemy's main force is that center dot. Finish every one of them off.
With this, I call check.
Check.
My plan worked, didn't it? I can do it. I can. I can defeat Britannia.
Can it win? Will your toy beat them?
My lord, please be so kind as to call it Lancelot.
Lancelot. Okay. This is gonna be interesting.
Did you read the manual?
Pretty much.
Well done. You scored at the top of the class in the simulator.
Hey, look. About what you told me earlier.
Huh? It could be, but the possibility is nearly 0.
But
What's
that
that?
means there's still a chance, right?
Yes, I'm afraid that's true.
Now at full output. 30 seconds to reach critical voltage. Core luminous, shifting phase. Yggdrasil drive.
Initiating devicer setup.
Confirmed. Confirmed man-machine interface engaged. Yggdrasil resonance confirmed. Rejection response weak. Devicer stress response weak. All readings nominal.
So far it's going per the data.
Status all green. Status of backup tactical bank authorized. Secondary confirmation given.
That's cool.
Lancelot, activate ME boost.
Lancelot, launch!
Running full throttle right out of the gate.
Still in good.
It doesn't look like a Sutherland. Another push and the checkpoint will fall.
This is B Group, reporting enemy presence.
What's happening out there?
Bastard!
What? It reflects bullets?
Yes, I can do this. With Lancelot, I can stop all this at once.
N4, N5, hold there.
Interesting
When the
parallel
units
there.
arrive, surround that thing.
P1, report!
If I can stop all of the nightmares, then this battle is over.
I get it.
No matter what it takes.
All right, I
I've
get
gotta save
it.
Lelouch and that girl.
You mean this thing's what's ruining my plan?
Are you the guy that's in command?
Nothing more than a pilot! How dare he!
Hey, I'm returning the favor.
Huh.
I can't.
Objective C.
I must remember that. The most vital element in battle is the human one. That damn monster's unstoppable!
Bastard. He's tearing things up for no reason.
In the midst of battle, he rescues someone?
Huh? He saved someone?
Yes, so it would seem.
It's very strange of him. That boy's an excellent piece of equipment.
Stop there! Your ID. This is Prince Clovis's personal transport.
At last, the checkpoint, and barely guarded per my plan.
Your plan?
That's right. Now I'd like you to let me pass.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Quit crying!
Ogie, who is that voice we heard?
Damned if I know. He doesn't answer when I call, so maybe he bought it.
So this is where you 11 vermin scurried off to. Prepare to fire! Commence!
Attention all forces! Cease fire at once! Casualties, whether Britannian or 11, shall be treated equally and without prejudice.
Did he get in there?
Clovis La Britannia, you are hereby ordered. Cease fire at once. I shall allow no further fighting. Are you satisfied?
Very.
Oh, wow.
And what shall we
Already?
do now? Sing a few lively ballads?
Don't you recall? The two of us used to play chess together as boys.
Really?
Of course, I would always win. It's been a long time, big brother.
Wait,
the
what?
eldest son of the late consort Marianne and 17th in line to the imperial throne. Lelouch v Britannia at your service.
Lelouch? But I
that
thought...
I was dead? You were wrong. I have returned, your highness. And I've come back to change everything.
What? What the fuck? Okay, so the prince is Lelouch's older brother. Why do they look so different then? Alright, okay, so Britannia, again, just loads of fucking notes. I love shows that do this to me. So Britannia came from the US. That seems to be where it originated. But by the way, I didn't point out in the first episode the opening song. I really like it. I really like the opening song. I really like the opening song. So I was wondering last episode if the power that Lelouch has any limits, and it works only with direct eye contact. So interesting. Which is good. It's good that it has a limit, because otherwise it would just be stupid. I love the visual representation of like the orders, how like, I mean, you saw it like literally went no eye. It's sort of like, you can see like a brain, like almost like a circuit, and like circuits like change and stuff to like fix in a certain way. I love visual representations of stuff. Like it's just a very creative way of doing stuff. So like, you know, I really like stuff like that. I've seen it in like other, like a whole lot of other animes, like especially in like shows that I've done, and I always point it out when it happens, because like that is one of my favorite things, is when like they do something creative with telling a story or progressing something or giving an idea as to what is happening in a character's head when they visualize something. You know what I mean? And it's just very creative, and I like that. So I really like it. So yes, Suzaku has a pocket watch. Don't know who it was possibly given by, but it did save his life, apparently. Yeah. So the Empire, obviously, because of, you know, what they are, absolute dicks, they're keeping the battle under wraps. Like, they don't want it getting out to the rest of Japan, you know, and the civilians and whatnot. They are still terrorizing the country and still like being an opposing force. So obviously they are not broadcasting any news. It just kind of goes to show that like they have control over everything, like what goes out on the TVs, everything like that. They are able to. It kind of mirrors a lot of what can be going on in real life. Like when you have the highest possible power, whether it's a president, a prime minister, an emperor, you know what I mean, highest of the high, when you have that kind of power and you're able to to change certain things, change them in a way that you want the country to see for what you are. It's a face. It's not the true nature behind it. You know what I mean? And that's why like a lot of people have this sort of fear of genuinely like people. Like, you know, if you're like in a one-on-one with a stranger or whatnot, you know what I mean? You can see their face and whatnot, but you don't know what's behind the eyes. And it's a similar thing where, you know, it's like what's really going on. You know what I mean? Like the ulterior motives that people have, things like that. And it's a face. It's a facade. You know what I mean? It's essentially directing your attention away to, oh, this is what is really like, this is what we are doing, when in reality what's really happening is something terrible. So yeah, so always be wary of what the mass media tells you. Don't take it at face value. Make up your own mind. It's a good lesson. Yeah, I love the idea of them using like the train tracks, almost like a train would use it. You know what I mean? So they're actually like tied to the tracks and like heading along like that. It like kind of guides its path, which is really good because I feel like it's efficient as well. It'll take more energy to like actually maneuver the thing. When in reality, if you're on tracks and you're letting that do the work for you, you're saving on energy, which is great. I love shit like that. I love it when like they think of creative ways to do stuff like that. So it's nice. Little details, things like that. So the Glasgow mech is the one that the girl was using, the red one, and the Sutherland mech is sort of like the Kiefer Sutherland mech. Seems to be the default. You know what I mean? Like the mass-produced one, the basically the main unit that they would use. Pretty much like, you know what I mean, the average soldier in a battle. That's what that is. It seems like there's no real sort of straight up human infantry kind of going on. Like there seems to be guards and stuff. Oh no, what am I saying? Of course there is, because we literally just saw them. Yeah, but it's not as like. It seems to be more for like little engagements, like keeping the people in check, as opposed to like when it comes to like real battle and stuff. It seems like the mech is the thing that they're doing. We'll see. And then of course we've got the Lancelot mech, which is I imagine is going to be Suzaku's. That's just going to be his mech. It seems to work. I'm seeing like a nice parallel between Suzaku and Lelouch. I'm seeing the from either, like the perspectives from either side very well. Lelouch, for example, the power that only he can use, like he was the one chosen for that, whereas Suzaku, he was the one chosen for the Lancelot mech. Apparently there's something with it's, I don't know exactly what is wrong with it because we haven't been given information on it yet, but because it's a new model, maybe it hasn't been tested, or that it's using some kind of new tech that is potentially dangerous, and yet, but Suzaku was essentially chosen for that. Now, whether they're using him because he is specifically an 11, so that if, like, at the end of the day, if it malfunctions and he dies because of it, it's not a loss to them, I guess, because the scientist himself, don't know what his name is, but the scientist guy who's he called Suzaku equipment, like not even a human, equipment. You know what I mean? That so clearly there is no love lost between the there is love lost. Like they don't think of them as humans. It's just a tool to be used, which is interesting. Parallels between using mechs and calling the person who is driving the mech equipment. Like, you know what I mean? Like there clearly seems to be no differentiation between a mech and the person driving it, which I really like. You know, it's those kind of connections that you make when, like, you know, like I can see why in the first 2 episodes I can already see why this is across the board a fucking like one of the best anime, because, you know what I mean, you can tell the difference in storytelling between different, like, across different shows. You know what I mean? And the ones that really stand out due to their storytelling, you know, MHA does it with their connections, different use of quirks. Attack on Titan does it with their storytelling and mystery and only letting you know certain things. A lot of parallels in that show. And it's the same here, where, you know what I mean, the connections are so vivid, you know what I mean? And like, to be able to fit in so much in like a short episode, you know what I mean? They fit so much into these episodes. Now it could be just the fact that it's the first couple of episodes, you're kind of getting introduced to the world, a lot of information has to be given, world building, all of that. But like, so far, it's really, really grabbing me, this. It's really, really good. I like it a lot. So they're doing good with storytelling. But yeah, like, back to the parallels. So obviously with Suzaku having his own mech, he was chosen for it. Lelouch having the power, he was chosen for it. The initial intention behind the two is the same. They want everything to stop. They're just doing it different ways. Lelouch wants to obliterate the Empire. He wants to get rid of that oppressive force. Suzaku, maybe on the other hand, I don't know exactly how far it goes, but it seems to be the idea that he has chosen to side with them in order to try and keep peace that way. You know, using, you know, he said, what did he say? He said, yeah, there was a monologue that Lelouch had said earlier on in the episode where it was like, yes, I can do this. You know what I mean? I can take on Britannia. I can beat Britannia, right? And then later on, Suzaku, when he was in the mech, saying, yes, I can do this. I can stop all of this at once. So again, they are wanting to stop all of this oppression, but they just want to do it in different ways. And I love the fact that there's that parallel there, obviously with them being best childhood friends and whatnot. They're just going about it different ways. So yeah, very, very interesting. I love smart characters. I think it adds so much more to a character when they are smart. You know, when you have a character that is intelligent, it shows the talent of the writer of the story, first and foremost, because they in turn have to be intelligent in order to write this. Because it's not just writing intelligence for one character, you have to write everything that's going on around him, and everything has to fit and make sense. You know, chess is a good indicator. Like, it's a good sort of, it's a good game. To show intelligence. You know, a game of chess is one versus the other. It is very much a game of basically being steps ahead of your opponent, right? So you need to basically make your decisions and determine what moves your opponent is going to make, and therefore, you know what I mean, you can make all of your decisions based upon what you think they are going to do. So, you know, in turn, if you know what your opponent is going to do before they've already made their move, it allows you to keep ahead of them at an even faster pace, because if you know that they're going to do something, you can make your move pretty much instantaneously. You know what I mean? And always be a step ahead of them. which is great. You know, smart characters give a real sense of a sense of like to the viewer. It gives a sense of like wonder, amazement. It gives you that like awe feeling where, you know what I mean, like a lot of the time if you don't see what's coming and you want to see like something play out, like there's one thing about like, you know, general shonen anime and like basically a battle of power and willpower essentially, overcoming your opponent that way. But if you can implement some type of like intellect in there and like people making moves not just on, you know, trying to brute force your opponent and instead actually making calculated decisions to overcome your opponent that way, it's a hell of a lot better, especially for me. I think it's just more intriguing to see how they pull things off. It generally becomes a more creative way to like when people are fighting, because it's not just straight up, oh, like I'm just gonna punch and punch and punch until I can overcome something. It becomes like, you know, they have to come up with creative ways to overcome. It just makes it a hell of a lot more interesting. It means that you can have certain scenes that maybe you've never seen before, or you would never expected something to happen the way that it did, because like they had to have come up with that that creatively in order for it to work. It wouldn't just be a straight up punch fight, which is really nice. So yeah, I said a bit, you know, about the game of chess. You know what I mean? The battle formations, like even them, Lelouch was saying like things like, oh, like B7, like move up and stuff like that, and that is chess. Like clearly, there is that parallel with this is all a game of chess. You know, because each square on the board, not all chess games have it, but generally it's some do have it. The idea that you know, each square is like, you know, you'll have one row which is A, and then next row B, C, D, onward, and then each column would be a number. So, you know, you can so that's basically you directing pieces to said letter and number, right? And when he's saying that, like that's just the way it is. And I wonder if those are actual if he is given these pieces, like these, like obviously these soldier mechs that he was like ordering, if they were like, if he actually like give them it, and also if like the area itself actually has those kind of codes embedded in its like in its location now. If like the Empire, along with making Japan Area 11, like if they actually like embedded like those kind of codes in there, like, you know what I mean, or like this section is B7, for example, right? But yeah, it just goes to show it is like a game of chess. So yeah, the Lancelot mech is a 7th generation Nightmare frame. Alright, so the Nightmare frame is a mech. Like, that's just what it is. They're not calling them mechs, they're calling them Nightmare frames. Because I was wondering if Nightmare frame was a term for a special style of mech, and I guess it's not. I guess it's like the mech is called the Nightmare frame. But it's 7th generation, so I guess, are the Sutherland's 6th generation then? I imagine at some point Suzaku has got to I don't know, because this could go either way. If we're going to keep the parallel factor of Suzaku trying to go his own way and try and stop it in a different way to Lelouch is doing it, then they could do it that way, and I would be absolutely fine with that. But if Suzaku knows that Lelouch is straight up on the other side, there might be something where he's like, Suzaku's going to have to join him, right? In which case I see him like sort of completely rebelling against orders and whatnot and fucking off to join Lelouch, taking the mech with him. Because I feel like the Lancelot mech is his mech now. Like, that is his. It's nobody else's. I mean, speaking of which, I don't know what the sort of... Because there's a visual of the Lancelot mech where there's this box like suspended in water, and I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's some... I guess that's the new tech that the other mechs don't have. and that's what's possibly the dangerous part about it, is that new tech. I don't know if there's maybe some kind of, again, like some sort of maybe AI that sort of helps with, I don't know, maybe like if you want to make a, like if the human inside was to make like maybe like a mistake, like maybe that kind of tech maybe puts them back on course maybe, and like adjusts so that it's more efficient, maybe something like that. But we'll have to see. Again, we don't know much on the Lancelot mech. They haven't told us what the problem that could, like the underlying problem could be. I haven't been told that yet, so I'm sure we'll get more information on that. I wrote down, is Suzuku fine with this? But I guess that was answered when Suzaku was saying, I can stop all this at once. He didn't join, like he knew that he was joining an empire that is oppressive, but from the inside he is trying to stop all of this, like this oppression from the inside by doing it his own way almost. Like, yeah, he has to like kind of follow orders, but he's sort of like in his own mind he's doing his own thing, like hence why he's like when he was told to kill Lelouch in episode 1 he didn't do it. You know what I mean? So obviously to him, you know what I mean, he's when I said like he's the more relatable character, I think I was absolutely right. I think he's the more grounded one. He's the more realistic one. Trying to do things with a more realistic like style approach. Like he's a realist in that way, I think. Which is probably like, you know, why I probably relate to him a lot more, because I'm a realist. But yeah, interesting. I do like how he's trying to do it from the inside. It's really nice. So the prince and the scientist guy are brothers as well, which means the Lelouch would be, because I don't know if they are full brothers or half brothers, or someone was I don't know if Lelouch was maybe adopted. I don't know, because I can see a possible resemblance between the scientist and the prince. I can't see a resemblance between Lelouch and the prince. So I imagine somewhere along the line there is like maybe the idea that they were adopted somewhere along, like someone was adopted in. I'd imagine Lelouch was, just because he looks so much different. But then again, it's anime, and like anime like to do things with characters where to make them stand out. So I don't know. I'm sure we'll get more on it. Yeah. So a very interesting line is what Lelouch said was, you know, the most vital element in battle is the human one, right? And I think this is where the downfall of the Empire come in. I think they, you know, like I said before, like the scientist calling Suzaku equipment, right? I think, you know, from the Empire's standpoint, they aren't entirely human anymore. They don't have that sort of humane aspect about them. They're all about power and all about taking control over people. They are not humane. Whereas on the other side, you've got people who are fighting for the humane reason, the morality, and also it comes down to, you know what I mean, like, whereas yes, you've got all access to all of these mechs and whatnot, it is the choices that the human makes that makes all the difference in the end. You know what I mean? So I like the multiple meanings behind things in this anime as well. Like, you know, they've got all the parallels and all of that, and I love parallels and things like that, and that is great. And not like there is a lot of anime and shows and stories that don't do that. You know what I mean? So it's honestly, it's great the fact that they've got that in there as well. But when you can make like one thing have multiple meanings, that is just an extra like bonus to what makes a story great. So I'm loving it. Yeah, I wrote down Ogi. I guess, yeah, that's another one of the rebels. Yeah. And then, yeah, Lelouch, older brother, as the prince. So, they used to play chess when they were little. Again, there must be some kind of adoption thing. I don't see them being full brothers. And it's just, like, it's mad to think, like, what is... There's clearly some sort of fortune thing going on, like... Rich family, you know what I mean? And that's why he's considered the prince, I guess. And I wonder if the prince from an early age, maybe if he is the older brother, if he was sort of taken, does that mean the prince is an 11 then? And he is the face that they are using to everybody else. Like, he is the face they are using because he is an 11 himself, and therefore it keeps the general population like thinking that, you know what I mean, everything's fine because like he is the actual prince and he's one of us, so everything must be fine. You know what I mean? So I wonder if from an early age he is like being. He was taken by the Empire, sort of forced to do these things, and now he's just in this role where he's become a dick because of it. And it makes me wonder if the reason why they went, like, only in episode 2, he's already gotten to the prince at this point, that he, I wonder if that's going to be a thing where, like, Lelouch tries to bring his brother back and remember, like, what, you know, you don't have to fight under the fucking... You don't have to fight for the Empire anymore. You don't have to, like, succumb to the fucking... to their rule kind of thing. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, a lot of information, a lot to talk about. Like, in these 2 episodes, I have talked a hell of a lot and discussed, and I love... You guys know me, I fucking love shows that do that. I love shows that get me to talk and theorize and fucking analyze things really well. The more I can do that, the more fun I have with it. So yeah, I am very, very much excited. Who was it that... Oh god, I hope I still have it up here. Yeah, TT. TT was the God tier patron that that requested this. Legendary, thank you so much, because I think you have picked a quality series for me to react to. So thank you, TT. I appreciate it, man. So yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. So yeah, that is all for this week. I don't really want to wait a week for the next one, but I'm gonna have to, I guess. So yeah, awesome. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.